Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tim, I'm the security nerd. About the mask real quick, check the welcome video out. It'll explain that, it'll explain me, and it'll explain everything about the channel. So I'm sitting at customer's house, waiting for my next appointment. And I was just enjoying this nice area back here in the backyard. Nice little pergola, nice little, just real calm area. Very, very nice area. They did a great job planting these trees. Take a look. These trees and all this stuff out here. Really, really, really neat. And the pergola. And the cool thing is I actually built the pergola for the customer, which is pretty cool. I enjoy woodworking as well, but you know, my main job or passion is home security. The woodworking is just a plus and a bonus. But today I was thinking about security for the home. And I'm not talking about cameras right now, I'm talking about a home security system. My opinion is that if you wanted to get a home security system, not having it monitored is like having a gun with no bullets. It's like useless. Yeah, sure, it's gonna scream, might scare somebody away, but what if they stay in the house and tell you to turn the system off? What are you gonna do? Monitored system, if that occurred, somebody would know that they're in the house. So, because of my background, I have a lot of different viewpoints on the home security front. There's a lot of reviews on YouTube. And you click on them and it says the 5 best home security systems. And I would disagree with everything that has been presented in those videos. And there's a lot of reasons why. And I'm going to tell you from a professional viewpoint, from a sales viewpoint, and from an installer viewpoint. See, I think that's one thing that I might have that these guys don't. The installer part. However, if they are installers, I have a fourth part. I have a viewpoint that's different than a lot of folks. That's one of the reasons why a lot of my customers, my kids, my close friends, my brother says, you know what, you'd be good on a YouTube. Whether I'm good or not, the information that I give is awesome. And on this video, we're going to talk about home security systems. Now, the first thing that I would say would be to get one. If you don't have it, get it. Over the years, I've seen too many people burglarized. The devastation it brings, not because they lost stuff, it's the loss of that security, that peace of mind that they once had. I actually just came from a customer of mine's house, security cameras, attempted break-in, and the psyche is damaged when that happens. Not going to tell you a whole lot about it, other than the fact that I am adding some more cameras. We're going to upgrade her security system for something that fits her need, because there's a cookie cutter system in there, and that's unfortunate. But we're going to upgrade her. We're going to get her some stuff. She's deaf, so we're going to do some strobe lights for her so that when the alarm sounds, the strobe light goes off. These are things that we're gonna get her taken care of so that she can have peace of mind again. So getting a home security system is real important, and there are some things that you need to ask the security company, or at least do your research before you install or before you have it installed. I think the number one thing that I need to kind of focus on right now is the new wave of interest in the industry, which is the do-it-yourself home security kit. You buy it online, they send it to you pre-programmed, you install it, and then they monitor it. Does it meet the standards or the requirements for home security? So if it's not UL listed, it doesn't mean that it's not a good equipment, but it does mean that I don't know if I can trust it myself as a professional. So I wouldn't install the equipment that you purchase. Another thing that I don't like either is the equipment looks really cheap. I mean, it looks really cheap. And there's probably a reason for that. It is cheap. I know that I get called quite a bit by people who install their own security systems. Hey, Tim, it's not working right. Can you come check it out? Well, they call me because the companies they buy it from, they don't have any technicians. They're all salesmen. And they don't know how to help her or him. And so I went to one, and the motion sensor was installed incorrectly. So it was upside down. Now, it's possible that they've changed all this since this one happened. There was no markings on the motion as far as up or down or what have you. I just happened to know which was up and which was down. I had to take it apart and take a look at it in the insides, and then we determined from there how it was, and it actually works now. The other problem she was having was a battery. She called me telling me a battery was low, and she didn't know which battery it was. So we had to change them all because the security system didn't tell her that it was the back window, or that it was the front window, or that it was the front door, you know, whatever it was. It ended up being a side window on her house. So these systems aren't UL listed. I don't know if I can trust them. Can you? Wait, the UL listing is definitely important, and I've done that call recently, so I know that at least the two biggest ones aren't. There's a lot of other things too as well. Do they have a timer test? Now, this is a test that a system is programmed for. So it's not something that comes pre-programmed in most alarm company systems. The timer test is a test that is sent to the station to say, hey, I'm here. Then the station sends it back to the equipment or to the keypad, and it completes a circle. And that circle is a timer test, and that timer test usually goes off once a month in the middle of the night sometime. You'll never hear it, you'll never know it, it just happens. It's programmed that way. Then you have and what here's what that does. That tells the monitoring company that you are being monitored, that we can see your security system, that if your security system sounds, the alarm will send a signal, and we will receive that signal and we will respond. Now, I can tell you that if it doesn't have a timer test, and for some reason, you know, your system sends signal through Wi-Fi or through cellular or through a home phone, any one of those systems can go down at any time. And you may not know it. I know back in the day it was the home phone, and a lot of times the home phone would be disconnected or go down, or the homeowner would be like, I don't need a home phone anymore, I'm going to disconnect it, and never worry about their alarm system and forget that their alarm system was programmed or installed to go through the phone system. So the the crazy thing is back in the day, that timer test was not required, and it is still not by by a specific company. And if it is, it's definitely not policed, because the technicians are not doing it. I can tell you that for a fact. But you'd have a lot of alarms going off, and no one would call the cops. And you know, there's a lot of videos online about you know, this interview with this criminal, and this interview with this burglar, and this interview with this burglar, and this one and this one. And obviously the burglars give their own opinions on how, you know, how to secure your home and things like that. But he would set the alarm off and go down the road and wait. And if no one came, he'd go burglarize the home the next day. And that was how he told this interviewer that he got around these alarms. He would set them off and wait, and if police came, well, they're being monitored. If police didn't come, they're not being monitored. But to me, I would think if he set the alarm off, the homeowner would be like, I need to get it monitored. But I guess he didn't think that way. He said it worked, because they thought it was a false alarm or whatever. He would just push the door or something real hard, and it would sound the alarm, break the sensor away from the magnet far enough to sound the alarm. You know, whatever the situation was, that's what he was doing. And I thought that was kind of interesting, because, you know, that made me think of the timer test, and so that's something that you really need to look at, is the timer test. Ask your company if they have a set timer test on a monthly basis. If they don't, I drop them like a heartbeat. And if they do, then ask them the last time they received the signal, because that'll tell you whether it was programmed or not. Something else that, you know, that I think of too when I think of monitoring centers is the speed of response. Now, a lot of companies will say they have a 45-second or less speed of response. Now, there's a couple different factors that go into the response time. The first factor would be the entry delay. So you walk in your front door, your system shuts down for 45 seconds. It actually doesn't shut down, it shuts the motion sensors down for 45 seconds or 30 seconds. You know, whatever whatever that entry delay is, that's how long it shuts down. Now, when I worked for a company, there was a standard by which we used. If you were over a certain age, it would be a minute. If you were under a certain age, it would be 45 seconds. But if you think about that, 45 seconds is still a long time. Then what would happen is the alarm would sound and the signal wouldn't be sent right away. There was a delay on that signal. It's called a dialer delay. And the company I worked for back in the day was 30 seconds. So you'd be at a minute, what is that, 45 seconds and 30 seconds. My mind is not working right now. It's 75 seconds, but what is that, a minute 15? A minute 15 seconds before the security center would even know that your alarm was sounding. Then on top of that, it was 2 calls to the homeowner to verify or validate that alarm. So it'd be 2 minutes before dispatch happens. This is why when you talk to some folks, they're like, oh yeah, they're pretty quick. They get a hold of me within about a minute and 15 seconds. Now, there are some companies that will allow you to eliminate that dialer delay so that when the alarm does sound, it sends a signal instantly. I do that for my customers, and the reason I do that is because, say for instance, someone breaks into the house, they use the front door. We use 30 seconds for the delay. And so in 30 seconds, that alarm's going to sound. If it sounds, it's sending a signal. If you're home at night and you set the system on an instant mode, and somebody breaks in the front door during the nighttime, it'll instantly sound the alarm and instantly send the signal. The monitoring center I use they're on the phone with me within 4 to 6 seconds. Sometimes even quicker than that. I can't even get to the keypad sometimes. So that's great peace of mind for me. They do require a dialer delay as well. Some of the other things that I like too about the company that I'm with versus the company that I was with, the customer service is so much nicer. Now, you're probably not going to be able to ask the sales guy, hey, how's the customer service? He's gonna lie to you anyway. But you can call the company and you can experience their customer service. You can call the company and ask about the dialer delay. You can ask about the timer test. These are back behind the scene things that a home security system does without you even knowing. So I bet even if you have one now, I bet you didn't know your system did this. But I would say this: test your system now. Make sure that it's being monitored, because a lot of folks are paying for monitoring and they're not being monitored. The second thing that I would say real quick would be to check on that timer test. Check on that, what's your dialer delay. Now you may have to have a technician come out to the house to find these things out, because it is in programming. And to be honest with you, your monitoring center may not even know. One way to find that out is to call the monitoring center, set the system on test mode for 1 hour, set the alarm off while you're on the phone with the representative, and then when they tell you they see the signal, you'll know if there's a dialer delay. If that signal shows up 45 seconds later, you've got a 45-second dialer delay and you need to get that changed. If you have to have one, then it'll go down as low as 0, but it'll go, the next increment would be 15 seconds. So, if you have to have one and you feel you have to have a dialer delay, maybe to give you that extra few seconds to get to the alarm to turn it off. See, I don't like that, because if I'm home alone, or not home alone, but if I'm home with my family during the nighttime and somebody breaks in, I want my alarm to sound the signal and I want it to go off instantly, and I want it to send the signal instantly. See, so looking from a safety point of view, that's a big deal with a home security company. And I honestly, when I call these do-it-yourself places, they don't know anything about what I'm talking about. They have no clue what I'm talking about. And that scares me a little bit, because you've got a lot of people out there with these type of systems. The other thing that I found too is that if you take one of these systems that's not mounted to the wall and you throw it in the toilet, it won't send a signal. Why? Because of the entry delay and the dialer delay. So by the time you get to the keypad, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but these are things that as a security professional, these things really, really, really get on my nerves. You're sold a hill of beans, in my opinion. And I'm not talking bad about these systems. If you want one, get one. It's better than nothing. It absolutely is. I know my neighbor got one through one of these do-it-yourself ones, and that's fine. There's a certain age group that seems to be getting them, and hey, you know what? More power to you. But think of it this way. If you're a regular homeowner and you don't understand security, you might think these companies are good, but I'd warn against them. I'm trying to think of some other things off the top of my head. It's been a long day, so my brain is a little bit tired at this point. But for this video, I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'm just going to say this: along with the security system that you get, definitely put your signs up, definitely put your stickers up. The signs are important. That tells somebody you have a security system. Put it up straight, make it new. Once it goes bad, in 6 months, 8 months, a year, whatever, once it fades or whatever, get another one. Your security company should send you one, no charge. Even if it's $5, do it. It's worth it. Make sure it's not falling over. Make sure it's straight up and down. These are signs that tell somebody you're proud that you have a security system and you're being monitored. In the training that I had, it was look for the houses that had a security system already but are not monitored now. And the way that we did that was we looked at the signs. The first red flag would be a sign from a security company that's no longer in business. That's a big problem. Take those down immediately. That's telling people you don't have a security system. You're not being monitored. The second sign was that somebody didn't have a security system and very potentially not being monitored was an older sign for the company that they're with. It's all dilapidated, it's fallen down, or it's crooked, it's been bent, it's been beat up. These type of signs you need to replace and get a new sign, because again, that could have the potential of telling somebody that you don't have a security system that's being monitored. I prefer putting the keypad on the wall. It's very difficult to pull it off the wall and destroy it and so on and so forth. And there's anti, what do they call them? Triggers that will set the alarm off if that's tried. So that's pretty cool too. Just trying to think. Windows aren't necessary. Most break-ins happen through doors, the front door and the back door. The windows are protected with a motion sensor. If you have a pet, they have pet motions. If you don't want that, then you can put an interior trap, which is a door sensor on, say, the master bedroom door. When that's opened, when you're not home, the alarm sounds. There's a lot of things that you can do. Glass breaks don't work very well unless they're right up close to the window. If the window has coverings, you know, the wood shades or the curtain cotton shades, that will definitely diminish the reliability of those glass break sensors. You know, there's companies out there that talk about you know, their technology versus everyone else's, or their cost versus everyone else's. It's not about technology, it's not about cost, it's about function. And it's about how quick can they get to you, how quick can they monitor you, how nice are they when, you know, how quick are they to send the techs out, you know, technicians out, and so on and so forth. Most companies are anywhere between 4 to 6 days. I know that the company I work with got to 2 weeks behind sometimes, so that's pretty bad in my opinion. So there's a lot of things to think about when you do home security, but definitely my opinion would be to have one. I don't, you know, if you got burglarized or whatever, your peace of mind would be gone. And I'm not saying that the home security system will stop a burglary, but I am saying that it'll definitely give you some peace of mind, as well as deter that burglary. You know, if they do end up coming in, then at least you're being monitored, and at least somebody would know that they're in the house, and they can be sent in the police department for you. You know, possibly even saving your life. So, you know, that's definitely you know, a plus there with the security systems. Just trying to think of anything else I can kind of just share with you in the programming or what have you. Now I know that most professional security systems will communicate with the sensors on a regular basis, and so when a battery goes low, it'll tell you which battery, you know, which sensor it is. That's a pretty cool function too as well. And I don't know about these new do-it-yourself systems. I know when the first one came out, it didn't have those abilities. So they may have improved all of that. It's possible. Fire protection in a home security system. Make sure that your system has fire protection. I think I said that at the beginning. If you don't have fire protection, call your security company. Get a monitored smoke sensor put in the house. That's good for when you're away as well as when you're home. It's good for your pets. I mean, that's great. You know, when you're away, your pets can be safe too as well. Just trying to think if there's anything else off the top of my head. You know, if you guys can think of anything that I've missed, if you like your home security system, I'm not really looking for a plug for your security company. So I'll say this, any comments that are like that, I'm not recommending. But if you wanted to, hey, feel free. I know that everyone has their own opinions on the companies, and I know that my opinions will be different than most people, because I look at the criteria by which I judge is different than the other guys. I don't judge by cheap. I don't judge by no contract. I don't judge by, you know, anything like that. My judge is all in the safety of the system. And I think that's what a security system does, is keep you safe. So till next time, you guys stay safe. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, subscribe, hit the notification for the next video that comes out. Have a good day, guys.